Hello, my name's John. Welcome back to the channel. We're joined once again by
Ashton from Exploring the Past and the Present. Good afternoon.
We're at the site of Greetland Station, just outside Halifax. The station closed in 1962. Just in front of us is Greetland Junction, where the line to Halifax branches off. Beyond the trees is the ex-Lancashire and Yorkshire Calder Valley line going towards Manchester. The site's still in use as a maintenance depot. There's still a redundant siding remains here. You can just see the buffers there. Down here, the line disappears in the trees. Lines are still down for whatever reason. There's a remaining wooden gate post here, the entrance to the station. You see the steel hinge on it. Where these relay cabinets are is the site of the signal box, which would have once controlled the junction leading to the Stainland Branch. What we're looking at here is the original entrance to Station Lane. So we're now at the other side of the track, just behind where those signal cabinets were. This is the junction where the Stainland Branch left. Now we're heading towards West Vale. It was opened in 1875 basically to supply textile mills along the route. There were 2 stations opened, and later in 1907 a halt was added. So from the station, running alongside us, just to the left, was a siding which supplied the coal drops. It wasn't actually connected to the Stainland Branch. So this is the location of the coal drops. I don't know if you can see through all this vegetation. There's a retaining wall back there. See it better there, look. See the still got its cobbled floor. So where we're walking would have been directly underneath the tracks, and coal would have been dropped from railway wagons into either carts or lorries below for transportation straight to the local mills and domestic market. You see a cutout there where one of the timbers would have come out. From up on the railway embankment, the coal drops are just down there in front of us. Now we've come across these substantial timbers, obviously some sawn edge on them. Now we seem to think these have been removed from the coal drops. They're obviously too substantially heavy to be railway sleepers. We can't think of anything else that would have been used for. So so if anybody knows for sure, or what indeed they were used for, drop us a comment by all means. The one we're following now went off to the right into a cutting. You can just see it's less used as a path. Only just by people walking their dogs, I guess. Judging by the amount of pool bags we found thrown on the side. We're not far into the cutting before we find it's been infilled. Now this infill was all the way back to Clayhouse Lane. We'll pick the line up there. We can't actually see very much, but in front of us there is a bridge which the track bed went under. We'll have a climb up and we can show you more from up above. So this is the bridge from above. Like I say, it took Clayhouse Lane over the line. You see the ironwork riveted, that gives it some sort of edge. This is looking from the other side. Again, the cutting has been infilled. Substantial amount of infill gone in here, and it ran in that sort of a direction. We'll pick it up further down there. We can just see some remains here of a bridge which carried the line over Rochdale Road. Went in that sort of a direction. It's at this location when in 1907 a halt was put in to serve the local community, no doubt. Now bear in mind the track bed would have been considerably higher than what we are now, but this is the approximate location, the Rochdale Road halt. I'll put a map up so you get some idea where we are. So as we make our way up to track bed level, you can see this retaining wall's been made out of repurposed sleepers, both sides. You'll see the holes where the chairs would have been. Now it looks like a pipeline of some description crosses a line here. Not sure if it's gas, water, whatever it is. Would you call it an aqueduct if it carries a fluid? I don't know. We're still not fully up to track bed level yet. You can see we're in a substantially deep cutting. You see the rock faces there and among the ivy. Been blasted out. Now we're just approaching West Vale viaduct. I think we'll get a drone out of my bag, see what we can see from above, get a better perspective I think. Let's have a look down here. I believe this is an area known as West Vale. A couple of nice mill buildings over there. So as we exit the southern end of the viaduct, we can see it's been built on recently. The track bed would have gone straight through these gardens. So again, they've made use of salvage sleepers on the side of this path as we just approach Green Lane. Now I believe there's a level crossing went across here. We'll try and find some pictures, put them up. So the track bed came more or less through where the house is in front of us and curved round into West Vale station. So as we can see, it's all housing now. West Vale station was just in front of us now. Where these houses are would have been the station buildings. We can still see a retaining wall just up there. Probably the only evidence we're going to see of a station. I think it's highly likely that the majority of people living in these houses would never know there were a railway station here. So just to our right, where these houses are, would have been a goods shed supplied from a number of sidings off the main line. I think we're about where the track bed was. Would have been in a cutting, obviously. Still see the retaining wall there and a cat. When we get to here, we can see the track bed has been infilled again quite considerably when you look. So we're on the infill now, the track bed, walking towards Stainland. And the line would have passed under this bridge. You can see the amount of infill we've got. We would have been in a substantial cutting at this point. This is a bridge crossing Brookroyd. That's where we've just come from. If we look up the other side, you can see we've got the cutting back. It's pretty overgrown. We'll not walk through that. We'll walk around it and we'll pick it up later. So we picked the track bed up and we're soon onto a bit of an embankment here. Just show you. Pretty much overgrown, but we can get through as we head towards Stainland viaduct. So the embankment, we can just see in that line of trees there. I don't know if this camera's picking it up. Just a boundary wall in the bottom there. It looks like not many people come this way, to be honest. If I just point you down there, You can see we are on a substantial embankment. Some of these trees are pretty well established, but then again they would be. This line closed in 1959. You can just see in front now stonework of the Stainland viaduct. I'll have a walk across it. From underneath we can still see the stonework where the wooden formers would have sat when they're building the arch. Lots of spiky things here trying to get me. It looks like it's in a state of disrepair. The sidewalls have been removed, possibly by local youths, who knows. It's only that side. That side's pretty well intact. We'll not get too close. That's looking over towards Halifax, I believe. See where all this stone's landed. You go down below. Whoa. When we come off the viaduct, the embankment, as we can see, has got this steel fence. It's actually an industrial park that's been built since the railway closed. As we come down the embankment, there's a number of rotting away sleepers been discarded. So this road we're on passes through where the embankment would have been. Now I think the embankment's been nibbled away. I'm led to believe this road wasn't actually here when the railway was opened. It's actually been built to serve an industrial estate. just down there. When we get into Holywell Green, you can see the track bed down there, the cutting. It's now a private road used for access into an industrial unit. So unfortunately we can't get down to film. So that's looking at the track bed from the bridge on Station Road.
I suppose you could say that this section is still used for freight.
This is a bridge where Station Road crossed the line, that deep cutting. The station was just through there.
Known as Holywell Green and Stainland Station, the platforms were down a ramp. We can see the remains of it through the trees. We believe the station access was through this gateway, now fenced off.
Don't know if you can just see there through the trees. That was the site of the station. This is the original entrance to the goods yard.
So thanks for joining us on this little walk. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll be back shortly.
Now when we get to this point, a dog barks at us.